What's going on, people? It's Emmanuel for Altenor Media. Now, I just finished watching the pilot episode of For Life, the new 50 Cent produced show. So, we're going to be reviewing, recapping, discussing this every week about the same time. So, hopefully, y'all will be joining me weekly, and hopefully, a lot of my power people transition over to this show and we could discuss it like we normally do. Uh, this was a pretty good first episode. The show is about a man who's wrongfully convicted on a drug charge, so he's spending life in prison, and he has a whole family at home, so this is how everything plays out. And his mission is to prove his innocence and get out and get back to his family. So the way he's going to do that is, he went to school, he went to law school, he took the bar exam, he found different loopholes, and now he's finally, he's a practicing lawyer while he's in prison. So his plan is to fight cases for his fellow prisoners and use that to bolster his credibility, his skills, and then eventually and he also wants to kill the credibility of the I think the district attorney that screwed him over in order so he can get himself out of prison. So we see him start on his first case. So when he goes into the courtroom, the the prosecutor is surprised to see him there, and before the prosecutor even notices him, this is how much they don't really even care or give a damn. The prosecutor is all nonchalant. He's talking about other things, but he doesn't know that Aaron, who's the main character, that he's serious about it, and he's gonna do whatever he can to get the guy out. So the guy, he's in prison. He did 6 years. The guy that Aaron is defending, he's in prison for 6 years, and he has 14 more years to serve because he dated a girl he was 17 and she was 15. So he broke up with her before he turned 18 because that would be considered statutory rape. So she was so heartbroken that she attempted to kill herself by swallowing some pills, and her parents made her tell the police that the boyfriend that dumped her, that he bought her the pills, but he didn't buy her the pills. She bought it from someone else. So he's in prison. So Aaron is trying to get him out. So this is his first case. So his wife comes to see him in prison, and you can kind of see the tension because his wife she's partly moved on, but she still has one foot in that door, but his daughter hasn't come to see him, and we find out later that the wife tells him that the daughter she has a lot going on, but the reality is that not his wife, but the mother of his daughter, she tells him that she's really keeping the daughter away from him for a reason we find out later in the episode, that the daughter is pregnant. She doesn't know how he's going to react. And we see that the wife kind of moved on with Aaron's best friend. So this is on Walking Dead type, Rick and Shane and Lori type thing. So, and and the wife tells him, you should have taken the plea deal, because if he took the plea deal, he would have had 3 more years on his sentence. So there's a few moments in the show that really hurt him and really motivate him to keep going. I think that's one of the moments. And also, if I can go forward, at the end of the episode, when his daughter tells him, she reveals why, exactly why she hasn't been visiting him, and that's because she's pregnant. And she tells him that you need to be around to help me raise this boy. His name is going to be Aaron. He's going to be named after. He needs his granddad. And a little before that, we'll get to that. Um a little before that, he ends up winning the case, because first the DA and the prosecutor, they all conspired against him. They tampered with his witnesses. He had 2 witnesses which they tampered with. So what he did was he manufactured the suicide note that the girlfriend left, just to get it in front of her, and he made her read it out, and through her reading it out, it brought back all of the emotions, and she confessed that her parents threw away the suicide note that was not found at the scene. It was found at the scene by a police officer, but it was later destroyed by her parents. So she admitted that she lied about who sold her the drugs, and Aaron was able to get his client released. So, and his girl, well, the mother of his daughter was there to witness it all. She came to see him in action, so it was a nice moment for them. So the daughter tells him she's pregnant, but before that, he has a conversation with the warden, and the warden tells him he needs to cool down and stop trying to antagonize or expose the DA, because her wife is in an election race against the DA for I don't remember exactly what they're running for, but they're in a race. So he initially agrees, but his daughter tells him that she needs him to help her raise the baby. So instead of him gradually, working on cases and slowly building his case, now the pressure is on him. Now he threw whatever he agreed with the warden. That's out of the window. Now he's really on it. He's gonna accelerate, working on different cases, working on his case, trying to get himself out so he can be there for his daughter. I know that's really uh, it's really tough for him to have his daughter tell him that, because it's rare for you to be able to just get out of prison. So her request, she's young and she's maybe naive, so she doesn't know the type of request she made. But now there's a fire lit under him that he has to get out. Yeah, they're running for attorney general. So now the show is going to be all him just really going at it, and I think it's gonna make for some tension with the warden because now she's connected with the whole race for attorney general, and that's kind of like his ally, and he feeds her information on the guards, but interestingly he doesn't feed her any information on the inmates, so he's not a snitch because they're the guards. Another interesting part in this episode was you see him working. He has mutual interest with the Aryan Brotherhood, the white supremacists. They wanted him to work a case for one of theirs, and initially he said no, but he needed them to. They're the ones who forged the suicide note for him. And then you can tell at the end of the episode when they say he's going to work, he's going to do whatever it takes, work with anyone, work against anyone who stands in his way to get home, to get to his daughter and his family. You know, they showed the Aryan brothers, so you may see him interact with them more, maybe work with them more. So it's kind of twofold there where you know he sees an obvious problem with the system. So in that aspect, he wants to revamp the system. He wants change in the system to prevent other people from ending up in the same predicament that he's in, the same tragedy that he's in. But even more importantly, he just wants to get out to get to his family. So that I think that is going to take precedence. So it's not as simple as him just wanting to, change the system. He wants to get out to get to his family. And it's interesting that he used underhanded tactics. He learned early. It didn't take him half a season, a full season to learn that these people are gonna play dirty with you. So you gotta get your hands a little dirty too. So he made that fake note, made that fake suicide note to get what he wanted. If he didn't do that, his case would have been over because they were sabotaging him from the beginning. Even when he was getting transported to the courthouse, the driver took some odd route and made him late, so that's how he missed his the witness. So it's gonna take a lot of sneakiness on his part to outsmart them because they have all the resources and he's in prison. So it's going to be interesting to see how he maneuvers around all of that. But he wants out to see his family. So I'm guessing he's going to be working on a new case each week, each episode, maybe each couple of episodes while he works on his own case, building that credibility. But that DA is not playing with him because if he gets out, it makes the DA look bad, and the DA looks like he has much bigger plans. You know, he has Attorney General and whatever else. So he has to keep this guy, Aaron, silent. So yeah, it was a pretty good episode, and I see 50 Cent in the previews. 50 Cent is gonna make an appearance at some point. Is he gonna be a supporting character or be on there every couple of episodes? But Yeah, you can tell the wife is still in love with him. That it was a nice moment after she's the one who helped him with uh with his whole forgery. So he involved her. That's gonna play a part down the line also. Him involving his not I keep saying his wife, what the mother of his child. They're not together. But they did have a nice moment too after, but it was a bittersweet moment after he won the case. And Jose, who he won the case for, his client, his grandmother thanked them. Jose thanked them. And Jose got to go home with his family. And the mother of his child was waiting, in the hallway for him too. And they locked eyes and they started walking towards each other. And probably in that moment, they forgot their situation. And it seemed like they were just prepared to just go in each other's arms and just leave the courthouse together. But that's when, as they were walking towards each other, that's when the officers told him, it's time to go and change. It's time to go. And then you see him making his way. He's on the bus. He's in his... He's on the bus. He has the handcuffs on. That he gets back to the prison, and he has to go through the whole routine where he has to strip down naked and bend over and cough and all of that. So that small victory and that small intimate moment he had with his lady, I'll say, it was very short-lived. He was back to reality. And and an important thing he said, when you're in prison, life stands still. But his daughter being pregnant, it reminded him that it may stand still while you're in there, but out there, life keeps on moving. And sometimes you don't have time. So that's why I really likes the fire in him to get on it. So he's going to be trying to get out there quick. So he has the support of a lot of his inmates. They was, dapping him up, praising him for getting Jose out. But he's going to upset, his ally and the warden. How long is she going to be his ally since he's going to be doing his own thing? And then he has issues with the guards also. So it should be interesting going forward. Anyway, let me know what y'all thought about the pilot episode of For Life. And make sure to join me back again next week for episode 2. And make sure to comment, like the video, share the video with your fellow fans, and please make sure to subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.